Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Marion, and today I'm going to talk about how I use my bullet journal. So, first of all, this is a Quirky Cup collective bullet journal, but I honestly don't really like it. The cover is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but the inside is weird. The pages are creamy, ivory, I think, and the dots are not 5 millimeters apart. They are 4.7 millimeters apart, if I'm not mistaken. So that bothers me a lot because I have OCD. So, anyway, that's not the point. The point is, great notebook, but not for me. Now, this is my cover for 2025. It's just a simple cover just to do the transition between the cover and the real cover, which is quite nice, and the inside of the notebook. So I chose something really simple, really straightforward, but I think I quite like it. Now, this is my future log. I used to do a spread like with 4 pages, but I find that I didn't really use it, so I changed it up this year. I'm doing just 2 pages of it, and I'm just putting birthdays and holidays on it. I find that I don't really reference this page a lot, so there is no point in trying to make several pages out of it. It's just no point. So I chose 2 pages is enough, and I quite like the way it turned out. Of course, if you are doing this in your planner, in your bullet journal, you can print out the calendars, the little calendars to put in the bullet journal. But I quite like this organic feel that it gives when you write it down, but you do you. Now, for my goals and wish list, I did something simple, I guess. I divided the goal parts in personal, career, finances, hobbies, and others. So in personal, I put like something that I want to accomplish as a person, like reading 40 books. That's something as a person I like to accomplish this year. For the career, I chose to put something like get more freelance jobs, because I work as a freelance editor, so I need more jobs to fill the void. For finances, I put spend less money because I'm spending a lot. For hobbies, I put getting 500 subs on YouTube, because that's my hobby, bullet journal. I hope to accomplish that this year. And for others, I put something like start a new language on Duolingo, because I'm finishing my Italian course and I would really like to continue on Duolingo because I really enjoy it. So starting a new language is quite nice. Now for the wish list, pretty straightforward as well. You just put what you want for this year. I put a new bookshelf that I already got, a new content planner, which I already got, and some colored pens, which I already got. So I have no wish list for now. Isn't that nice? Now for the budget and bills, you're going to see a lot of graphs, so just prepare yourself. In the left, you can see the graph for my budget, and here I put the months of the year and here how much money is spent or earned. So for the income, I'm going to use a gold dot and a gold line, and for the outcome, I'm going to use silver dot and a silver line. So I just put the dots and the lines here to see where this goes. This is something really new. I didn't do this on my last bullet journal, but I want to see how this will look at the end of the year. And in the right, you can see my bills table. It's just a simple table, nothing fancy. I just put the months of the year here and the list of my bills that I have to pay. And when I pay them, I put a circle, a dot in the month. So that's no biggie. For my Insta Tracker, lots of graphs, as I said. I'm going to have like every 15 days I put here the dates and here the follows. So each 15 days I'm going to put a dot where I am in follows. So I'm going to see this grow, I hope. And on the right, you can see my milestones tracker. So every time I reach a milestone, I'm going to circle it with the inside with a black pen and put date which I accomplished that milestone. Now, for the health and period, the period is quite simple. It's pretty straightforward. I have seen this everywhere. You have the days here and you have the months here. So you put a dot in a black pen if it's a normal day, and in my case, if I have period on that day, I'm going to use a golden pen for the dots. And you can vary the width of the dots as well to say that you had a heavy flux, for instance. So you can make the dot bigger. And on the right, you have my health tracker, which I'm going to put the date that I went to the doctor, what kind of doctor it was, what specialty, and the medication prescribed, or in the case of my psychiatrist, if the medications were not changed or whatever. So I'm just going to explain a little bit of what happened here, because I have no documents for my history of treatments. So it's nice to have on my bullet journal so I can see what kind of medication I have already taken. And here my book tracker. Even though I have a reading journal, I really like to have this page in my bullet journal because it's quite nice. I put the dates that I started and that I finished the book, the title of the book, the author, and how many stars I gave. That's pretty simple. But I really like having this page here. And my YouTube tracker. For my YouTube tracker, again, graph, months of the year, and how many subs I have. So right now I'm on 100 subs. Let's see how that goes. So I'm just going to put a golden dot to see it grow or not, I don't know. And then connect them with golden lines as well. And here you can see my milestones tracker for the YouTube. I was supposed to have 500 here, but it just wasn't enough space. So I kind of had that 400 weird number. Does it bother me? Yes, it does, because I have OCD, like I said. Now, for the monthlies, I did a separate video on this monthly specifically, but I'm going over just this page, which is my most used page. Here I have a calendar. It's a simple calendar just for some events. And here for some tasks. I have all the days of the month, and then I put some tasks here like pay, MasterCard, or something like that. And here I have goals, the goal section. So I put the goals for the month. I try to keep it simple because it's just a month. It's a short amount of time. So keep it simple. Focus, like doing exercise. I really struggle with that because I hate it so much. Like I've always hated it. So I struggle. So this is my focus. This is what it should be. Like focus on getting exercise done, even if it's a little bit. And a next month section. So like I said, I don't use the future log very often, but I use this, like I plan the next month ahead. For the other events and stuff that are pretty far away, I use mostly Google Calendar. Here are my habits. I just check it out when I have completed it. My mood section is 2 graphs, like I said, lots of graphs. It's a bar graph in this part here, in the upper part, where I make a bar of how
one eternity later,
how my humor is, and on the bottom part I put my energy levels. So this is a line graph and this is a bar graph, but you can have both as a line graph or both as a bar graph. I don't know, it changes nothing. Now my playlist, I like to do a playlist every month. I find that I really surprise myself on what music I'm listening to a lot. I have a content planner for my band's account on Instagram, which I have not completed yet. And then my weeklies. My weeklies are pretty simple. For the tasks, I use the Alistar method, which I find it really good. I really rather have this kind of task list especially for repetitive tasks, because you don't have to keep writing the tasks down. You just write it once and you can check it off every day. And on the left, you can see my tasks for each day. These are not repeated tasks, so it's fine to put them here. And that's it. I also have the review page, which is pretty straightforward. I just take some time to reflect on the month of what I accomplished, some big events, some things to remember, some challenges that I had, some things to start, some things to stop, like eating junk food. And that's mostly it. That's how I use my bullet journal. Thank you for watching. See you next time.